Greetings, everybody, dear friends and gentle hearts. Dear friends and gentle hearts, do you know that those are words that were found on a brown piece of paper on the body of Stephen Foster after he fell down a flight of stairs, probably from a drink binge, and later died? That was found on him. Probably those words are the title to an unwritten song, and also found on him was a little change purse with 37 cents, 1 penny for every year of his life. I don't know why I just told you about that. You know Stephen Foster. He did Oh Susanna, Camptown Races, My Old Kentucky Home, and Old Black Joe, and stuff like Beautiful Dreamer. Beautiful dream that awake unto me. Anyway, yeah. That's too bad. Back in 1864. Anyway, get right down into part 2 of my horror comics. The first issue that I have is Adventures into Fear. All the stories in here were written by Stan Lee, and the artists were Gene Colan, George Tuska, and Dick Ayers. That's from 1952. And the second issue I have in my unusual sequence is Amazing Fantasy 14, the issue before the famous 15 where Spider-Man first appeared. And this again is written by Stan Lee, the stories, and all the artwork is by Steve Ditko. And this issue has a story in there called Man in the Sky, which is a prototype for Professor Xavier, and I'll show you that. But that's the story, Man in the Sky, the prototype for Professor Xavier, about an individual who finds he can, he has telepathy, and he can astrally project his body and so forth. But what's interesting to me is that I think Steve Ditko had already established the look and feel of some of the characters in The Amazing Spider-Man. And you can see right there, who does that look like? The guy holding a baby. That looks like jolly old J. Jonah. Yep, so just put a little Hitler mustache on him, and then you got J. Jonah Jameson. And right down there, that looks too much like Peter Parker, albeit without his glasses originally, but then he dropped them. I forget what issue he dropped them, didn't use them anymore, but that looks like Steve Ditko's Peter Parker and Steve Ditko's J. Jonah Jameson. Another interesting thing about this is that the story is called Man in the Sky, but in the contents page they refer to it as Man in Space. I have no idea what happened there. A boo-boo. Okay, let's see. Next issue I have is Amazing Adult Fantasy number 13. It's all Ditko artwork, and that's from 1962. It has this has a dirty, rotten, anti-commie story in it. Oh, here's another copy of number 13. That's in pretty bad shape. It's got all the famous Marvel chipping down there everybody's heard about. That's what that is. The next issue I have is Amazing Adult Fantasy number 12. That's also from 1962. And this issue has the first fan mail mailbag. The next issue I have is Amazing Adult Fantasy number 10. From 1962. And let's see, this, I don't think this has anything unusual in it, but It has a pretty weird story. Amazing adult fantasy, strange stories. I don't know why there would be adult. Next issue I have is number 9. Also from 1962. Sorry about that glare in there. Maybe I should take them out of the bag. Well, if they're real important issues, I will take them out of the bag so they can be seen better. Let me get these out of the way here. Next issue is number 8, also from 1962. This is amazing adult fantasy. That's why there's a story about green aliens in here. Green aliens that land on Earth at a radar outpost and convince the operator to shut it down so their invading armada can land and take over Earth. And then he, the operator of this radar station, in return, he gets to marry an ugly alien krill. That's why it's adult fantasy. Oh boy. And then, of course, before it was Amazing Adult Fantasy, the title was Amazing Adventures. And this is number 6 of Amazing Adventures from 1961. Yeah. Okay. Next issue is Amazing Adventures number 5 from 1961. Amazing Adventures number 4 from 1961 also. There's another copy of Amazing Adventures number 4. I don't know why I got so many copies of that, but there's another one in number 4. Amazing Adventures number 3, 1961. Amazing Adventures number 2. Another copy of number 2. Let me take this one out of the bag because this one's easier. This one's easier for me to get out of the bag, so that's number 2. And there's another copy of number 2. That one's a pretty bad shape though. Alrighty, get those out of the way. And Amazing Adventures number 1. And I will take this one out of the bag too. There you go. Amazing Adventures number 1, first issue, 1961. This actually, it's a key issue because this has the first appearance of the first Marvel Age superhero called Dr. Droom. Not Doom, but Droom with a D-R-O-O-M. D-R-O-O-M. At least I think that's how it's spelled. Yeah, D-R-O-O-M, Dr. Jerome. And I think that's about all the time well, you know what? I have here a copy of Amazing Adventures number 3 from 1951. This is from a different company. It's from, I think, Ziff Davis. And it has an interesting story in here, titled The Evil That Men Do. It's about an incredibly, it's about a shrinking man that fights off a cat with a sewing needle. Very similar to this movie here. This is a movie poster from, or a copy of a movie poster from 1957 called The Incredible Shrinking Man, and look at the similarities there. This issue is from 1951. This story, this movie, The Incredible Shrinking Man, is from 1957. The director of this movie was Jack Arnold, who also wrote the screenplay and the novel. I can't help but think that, you know, in this movie it's about a shrinking man who fights off a cat with a sewing needle in the basement. Very strange, very similar. What if that's not a rip-off or a blatant lift? I don't know what is. It even looks similar. The movie poster even looks similar to the cover of this comic. Yes, indeed. What people will do. Well, you decide. I don't know. To me, it looks like a lift. I could be wrong, but you tell me. I don't know. And that's about all the time that I got. Oh, and I'm going to announce another raffle for December. During the first 2 weeks of December, I will be doing another raffle and be giving away first prize a copy of Ant-Man and Wasp, a new series by Tim Seeley, who is a regular around these parts here in the Midwest, and so he also signed it for me. And a copy of Superman #1 from 1987. Both of these issues are near mint to mint. And you also get a copy of 2 movies here, called Nightmares, Bloodlust, and Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. So it also has a cartoon in here. So you get all 3 of these, and then the second place winner is going to get just a copy of these 2 movies on this disc. So all you have to do to win is be a subscriber and leave comments on any of the videos during November. And then in December I'll do the raffle, and you guys can get all excited again like me. Anyway, that's all the time I got, and thanks for tuning in, and make sure to leave comments and get yourself into that raffle. Okie dokie then. Talk to you guys later. Take care.